Mark, you're here, A, because we love you, B, because it's been a while, but C, you have played more Forza Horizon 6 than anyone other than our reviewer, Luke Riley.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we are here to talk about the latest 10 out of 10 masterpiece from Playground Games. They've done it again, which I know will surprise no one. The bar that this studio sets is it's incredible what they have achieved. And they've done it again. Like that's just the only way to put it, because we've given it a 10 again. The last time Forza Horizon came out, Forza Horizon 5, we gave it a 10. It ended up being our game of the year that year. We'll see what happens in 2026 as far as game of the year goes. But yeah, it's awesome. It's set in Japan. We've been wanting to go there for so long. We get to go there now. Mark, I'll start with you as our guest. You've sunk a ton of time into this. What are your thoughts? What do you like the most? Is there anything that you don't super like? But what are you thinking here on Forza?
Yes. So my credentials are that I've played almost 60 hours already. I've been playing pretty much nonstop since we got code. I'm like level 150. It's always fun in this game because I could see who else has access. I'll just be driving around and I'll see like Paris Lily.
Yeah, who are the drivatars that are around?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, okay, I got to make sure I play more than them, so I look like the rock star. No, Forza at this point, it's one of those things where like they don't even need trailers, they don't even need hype. They could just be like, yo, Forza Horizon 6 coming out in May. It's set in Japan, and a billion people will play it. They have such a pedigree, and it lives up to it with this game. This game is phenomenal. Not that should surprise anybody. I've been playing exclusively on PC. It looks great. It looks fantastic. One of the prettiest games I've ever played. I probably said the same thing for Forza Horizon 5 and 4 before that. And I will say the same thing for Forza Horizon 7. But yeah, if you are a veteran Horizon player, I don't think you'll be too surprised as to what Forza Horizon 6 has to offer. It's the same type of deal. It's the split progression where you're doing the Horizon Festival sanctioned events where you're, doing closed off races and gaining points to be able to do these big over the top showcase events that I won't spoil here, but each of them are very, very cool. But it's more or less this, like, you're working towards this big race. You do the big race, which then unlocks the next, wave of races to get to the next one, eventually ending with the very big Goliath style races where you're doing the entire map. So same sort of progression there. Then the other progression is Discover Japan, which is the unsanctioned street races. They happen at night, or you're joining a drift club. The first mission of that being called Tokyo Drifters, which is amazing. Tokyo Drift, my favorite Fast and Furious movie. Just odd jobs here and there. There's these like Tour Japan things where you are not actually racing. You're just going on a tour in these like really cool cars, and you're learning about the mountains and learning about just different things. And it's a
so
mix.
Cool.
Yeah, it's great. And it's a mix of, iconic Japan areas with iconic Japan cars at the time, right? So you'll be driving, cars from the 90s and stuff like that, Honda Civics, because those were super huge in Japan in the 90s and stuff like that. So you're getting kind of a dual history lesson there. I don't know what else to say. Play the game. It's great. It's out now and comes out in 5 days on Game Pass. It's really, really fun.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of tough to talk about, like you were saying, because and we repeat this conversation every time Horizon comes out, where it's just like, what it is, but it's that rare thing where even though it doesn't necessarily surprise you all that much, it's just the execution is so brilliant.
Yeah.
In terms of the look, the world itself. I mean, that's really, I guess, what you're buying at the end of the day. Like, because there's hundreds of cars, plenty of them are unique to this one, but it's, the new cars are great, but it's really Japan that's selling this game. The fictional version, very much inspired by the real plays, and yeah, it just. I say it every time with this series, but it is I don't call it a racing game, even though it has racing stuff in it. It's a driving game. And just like the tour thing you were talking about, where that's a great example of it's you're not racing, but you're having a great time just driving. And that's what I like. I've been a car guy my whole life. Since I was the littlest of kids, I was obsessed with cars. I had this giant hope chest in our basement in New Jersey with just full of Matchbox and Hot Wheels, and I would just play with them all day. And that love of cars has just carried through my whole life. And this game, I think, more than certainly Forza Motorsport, which sort of retired, not coming around again. I don't know what the hell's going on with it, but Motorsport or Gran Turismo, it's not that those games don't celebrate cars, but they're just different. I mean, Horizon it's really a celebration of driving as much as it's a celebration about cars. If that makes any sense.
I was talking to my fellow, by the way, if anybody watches 2 podcasts of IGN a week, so sorry if you watch Scoop this week, because it's going to be the exact same thing for me. But I was talking to one of my other Scoop panel members, and Sam Claiborne, and he was like, I'm not like, I don't really get it, because like it's this kind of hyper realism driving mixed with, you know, crazy jumps that would more or less destroy a car if a car actually did it. And I was like, sure, yes. Like there is this, like in Forza Horizon, there is this like sim, if you want it, right? You can go through and turn off all of the accessibility, or not the accessibility options, but the like
driver assistance.
Driver assistance, right? Like you could turn all of that stuff off, make it where, you know, the anti-lock brakes aren't there, all that stuff, and you actually have to like be hardcore driving. But you also don't have to do that, and the game's just saying, this is your game, kind of do whatever you want. Where Forza Motorsport is just on the track. I don't know if there's music in those games. I've honestly never even played a motorsport. This is a spinoff, right? Originally was a spinoff. It's the Horizon Festival is the star of the show here. And so the whole point of this game is to get in, listen to great music, which this game has a lot of.
Again,
and just
every version has a great soundtrack.
Yeah, yeah. And it does that great thing that, you know, last year was Mexico. Before that, it was either UK or Australia. UK, I get 3 and 4 mixed up. Okay. 3 is Australia, I believe.
3 is Australia.
3 is Australia, yeah.
And it does that mix of Japanese songs with, you know, Japanese speaking lyrics and all that stuff, and then, you know, music you would find here in America as well. So it's like you're not getting left out as an American playing this. You're still, you know, not all of the cars are right side drive, just like the previous games. They're from all over the world, right? Because the whole thing is it's like the World Cup, right? Is like the story, right? This is drivers from all over the world are coming to compete in this one festival. So even if you were like, I don't really care about the Japan setting, it really doesn't matter. It's still just a new Forza game. It's pretty and it's super fun to play.
You know, you make a good point that I hadn't realized till you just made me think about it. This is now 3 Forza Horizon games in a row set in right-hand drive countries.
Right. Yeah. Well, no, Mexico's left-hand drive.
Oh, no, you're right. You're right. See, now I'm even getting the order of them wrong, but 3 of the last 4.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's like, yeah, it just depends on what car you're getting in. As to, not that it matters. Once you're in the car, you don't really see your character.
Yeah.
But this one also does something that I made a video about, and it's just kind of a primer on what the game is. And this part is the shortest section, and I say in it that I just do not care about, which is you can buy these estates and go there and actually decorate a garage. So there's like all these decorations and stuff that you could pay credits for, and like, you know, display your favorite cars and then set up chairs and lights and all these like cool things so you can visit and stuff like that. I personally couldn't care less about any of that. When I'm playing Forza, I want to be behind the wheel of a car. I don't want to be decorating a garage, but it's there if you want it.
Yeah.
I never interacted with it except for when I had to make the video.
Miranda, I can't recall if you had gotten a code or you'd gotten a chance to play it. Not
I
yet.
did not,
Okay,
unfortunately.
and then
Yeah.
Michael, I know you were in the same boat that we only got so many codes.
Yeah, I did get to play a chunk of this, not as much as
good.
Mark, obviously, but a good like 5 to 6 hours so far in the game, because I was only able to get access a little later down the line during this review period. But yeah, I mean, like echoing, we've talked about this game many times on Unlocked about how the Forza formula it's a winning formula, and you can only deviate from it so much, right? And I think, like, for me, as we get older too, I talked about how time compresses. It's been 5 years since Horizon 5. So it's been 5 years, yet it still feels, part of me is kind of like, oh yeah, we've done this many times already. Yet it's still like no one else does it like Forza does. So the fact that they stick to a very specific formula through all of these games still works in their favor, because again, no one else is doing it like them. And yeah, I grew up on Gran Turismo and Forza Motorsport. I've been more of a racing sim guy because growing up on those games, and I came up through the import tuner scene in real life and having, amateur driving experience or racing experience. Like, I've taken my cars out to the track, or my car, I only had one, out to the track. And so that racing sim, like the meticulous nature of simulation racing is my vibe, but there's something very freeing about having an open world like Horizon and still satisfying that edge that I want from sim racing. Like, I like Burnout Paradise. I think it's still one of the best like driving games, period. But that is purely an arcade racer. And so it's almost like Horizon has eaten the lunch of both racing sims and the arcade racer in that way. And I've played the Need for Speeds that have come out since then, and the Need for Speed gets closer and closer every time, but it's just not quite there, right? And again, I think when it comes to my appetite for racing games, whenever Forza Horizon comes around, it's like, oh, okay, now I'm ready for another one of these. That said, I think that this more so, and going off of this as a consequence of that, I think more so than previous Horizon games, I feel like I'm going through the motions, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. You kind of like turn my brain off and I do the races, because I've done this many times, and I like to play on manual. I keep my anti-lock brakes on though. Traction controls medium, but I do like to play manual, so it's a little bit more engaging in that sense. And being able to fine tune those things, you can kind of get whatever experience you want out of it, and the way the AI kind of goes along with that is also very smart. Something that they have also perfected over the many entries that they have at this point. But it is the Japanese import scene, or well, since it takes place in Japan, it's not an import scene. But that's the element that I wish this game leaned a little bit more into. And I don't know if Mark, you can speak to how it if it does lean into that a little bit more down the line, is like toge races and or toge drifting, and then street races, as you mentioned. There's more of it down the line. I can't wait to get to that point, because that's what is unique about the setting. I liked tearing through Australia and the UK and Mexico and all that, but when it comes to Japan, it's like there's a very specific motorsport scene there that I hopefully more down the line that this game will tap more into, that we'll see when I get to play more, because that's the stuff I grew up on. Loving import cars and following that scene, and being in the Asian American tuner scene. Like, there's this reverence for Japanese cars growing up that I hope that this game taps into more as I play more. But like the showcase events, I think this game has some of the best showcase events.
I love them. They're always
I love them. Yeah, and I think by the time I got to 5, it's like, okay, yeah, we're racing airplanes and like all this,
they're
just
crazy
glorified
time trials, right?
Yeah,
with just
there's
spectacle
no real
happening.
race.
Yeah. You're not actually racing a plane. A plane is just flying while you're just trying to get the best time.
Yeah, it's so funny that when you go through the showcase event, I still on the edge of my seat thinking that I'm going to lose the race. There's no losing that race, man. It's, like in the opening, you're racing the Shinkansen, the bullet train. It's like, yeah, I'm not faster than a bullet train, but I still like the way they've constructed these is so clever in that way.
Yeah.
But there's one I want to talk about, but I want people to see it for themselves. That I think I know what you're talking about, Mark. You should hit me up afterwards and let me know. But there is one showcase event that is just absolutely ridiculous. It really plays into Japanese pop culture in a way that I think a lot of people are going to love. And it's moments like that where it's, oh yeah, Horizon this is the only one that does this. And it's fine that they're doing it again. And the more they lean into their specific setting, I think the better that the game is. And so, but yeah, and other episodes I've mentioned, this is my cozy game. This is my turn off my brain, enjoy the world, do the races, not think about much. Even though I do like the challenge, I do like to pump up the challenge in these games because they can be a little too easy at times. It's still like that comfort food. I love cars, and only every now and then do I get to play a game like Forza Horizon. So
I think Miranda, you'd called it a cozy game the last time we were talking about this, maybe at preview, and that was it's such a good descriptor of it. I mean, it's not just that; it can be more, as Mark and Michael have been talking about. But yeah, it really is a pretty low stress, not a lot of tension or drama necessarily. It's just a good time.
My first 30 hours with the game has been like, headphones on or like sound bar turned up and, just enjoying the game. And I would say mostly because every manager at this company gets to do this thing like once a year. It's the unspoken rule where we stop managing and we go, this is my game. I'm going to disappear. Don't talk to me. Just, solve your problems yourself. And this has been me for the past like week. I'm just like, good luck, everybody. I'm going into a Forza cave.
Nice.
And so, yeah, that's how I was for like the first 30 hours. And now that I've been doing like all of the guide work for it, it's been like put a podcast on and just do the races because I'm just capturing footage or, trying to raise my points to the next wristband events or whatever. And it just becomes very like chill. You're just kind of, existing. But to say something, to talk about something Michael had asked about, there is a lot of like that kind of Japanese culture stuff a little bit later in the game. There are toge battles. There are drifting. There's these like stories that you interact with where it's like you meet somebody who either lives there or is there for the festival. And so like you'll do like 6 of them and you don't have to do all 6 of them in a row, but it's like, all these like things so you'll join a drift club. And then as you're doing each of the race, the NPCs are talking to you about the history of drifting, right? About how drifting used to be frowned upon because it was just seen as skidding. And then, the artistry of drifting kind of, one person kind of championed like, no. It's drifting is slower going around corners, but like there's a beauty to it. And designing cars to be able to, go sideways and all that good stuff. Like you kind of learn that kind of goes in with the stories of Japan, the tours of Japan. Same thing with the toge racing, which if you don't know what that is, at the end of Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, that is a total toge race where they just race down a mountain and it's a one-on-one battle that they give you a history of those. And, the first people to be like, you know what? You see the giant like mountain there? Let's race down it. Let's see what happens. And so there is each race has this sort of history lesson as to why that culture exists in Japan when it comes to cars and stuff like that. So it's really cool. And it's always that kind of over the top positive Forza story. But like you just got to kind of shut your brain off and be like, we're all just here to have a great time. And everyone's just super happy to be here. And that's great. It's just a good feeling game.
Yeah, because at a certain point, the game asks you to be, it turns into a bit of a grind, which is, again, not necessarily a negative thing because like the core gameplay of this is just so fun and you just get into a flow of it. So I also don't mind that aspect once you get later down the game. It's like, okay, well, you need to accumulate this much points to get access to this event. And that's at that point, it usually turns into like my podcast game or I'm on Discord with my friends and I'm just chopping it up with them for like hours as I go through the races. But yeah, there's the music also is the one aspect I've mentioned when we played the demo version. There's like a lot of great Japanese bands. I don't know, Mark, if you've discovered new music through that, because I keep up with J-rock and J-pop quite.
I've added
closely,
4 songs to my iPod.
Nice. Hell yeah,
so
man.
that's always what happens. I actually had never even heard of churches until I played Forza Horizon 6.
What the hell?
And now they're like, sorry. I meant 3, Forza Horizon 3.
Okay.
So this was 10 years ago.
Okay.
So I had just started at IGN, and Churches was, Clearest Blue was one of the first songs that plays in Forza Horizon 3, and now Churches is one of my favorite bands of all time.
Oh, nice.
So it's like, go play Forza to discover new music, for sure.
Yeah. I mentioned, last time I mentioned Milk Talk. I know there was someone who commented and hit me up, was like, wow, I didn't know about Milk Talk, even though I keep up with J-pop. And this band is absolutely incredible. And they're also now on my rotation as well. And that's thanks to Forza. And like I mentioned in a previous episode, Forza Horizon is the new Tony Hawk in terms of music discoverability through games. And I think that's a beautiful thing, especially with the incorporation of a lot more Japanese music.
Yeah, I don't always catch what the song is called, so I just do Shazam on my phone and just put it in my headphones, and it finds it. So yeah,
nice.
And then just real quick, I want to talk about the technical side. I've been playing on PC. I'm playing on a 5070 Ti, which is not the most powerful card. Extreme ray tracing, 90 frames per second. Like this engine I think this is the Turn 11 engine? I forget.
Forza Tech.
Yeah.
Co-developed by Turn 10 and Playground.
Yeah. This is like the most scalable engine ever. They've got it running on Steam Deck already, which is at this point like 5-year-old hardware. I don't have Steam Deck. I only have the Legion Go S, but it does run, which is a little bit more powerful than the Steam Deck, but it runs great on there. I can't speak to the actual console stuff, but one of our tech people, Jackie, has been playing, and it runs great. I played Forza Horizon 5 exclusively on Series X, so I imagine it will be somewhat of the same thing. And if you have that 5090 out there, you're in for a show. It's great.
Three last points for me, and then we got to let Mark go to get back to actual work, and we'll keep talking Xbox stuff.
It's actually a dentist appointment.
Well, that's part of it, man. Just adulting, you got to do it.
Yeah.
We talk about it always, but it's worth reminding everybody when a new Forza Horizon game comes out. Michael, you were talking about how it sort of blurs the line between simulation and arcade, and to me, Forza Horizon has always been the spiritual successor to another of my favorite Xbox racing games from days gone by, which is Project Gotham Racing.
PGR.
Yeah, PGR. Sure. The Horizon definitely takes that mantle and has done such a great job with it. So if you were a PGR fan back in the day and you have not yet played a Forza Horizon game, just jump into 6 and you're going to have an awesome time. I can pretty much promise you. Point two here is that we're going to enjoy this one for a while, and with the knowledge that most likely this is going to be that the next Forza Horizon 7 will be on the Helix. Like it's just because it's going to be probably another 5 years, could be longer, but it was 5 years as I think Michael noted, 5 years from Forza Horizon 5 to 6. So it's the next one will be on Helix.
Yeah, I don't know what the split is there, right? Because I think Motorsport underperformed, and I think I remember seeing something about like them putting resources more towards Horizon, but then they're also making Fable. So it's like, I don't know what so I don't know, like, did the Motorsport resources go more towards Fable, or did they go more towards Horizon? So I don't know if we're going to see another one of these in 5 years, or maybe a little bit faster. That'd be cool. But
yeah, it's tough to know. I mean, obviously AAA games take a long time to develop, longer than ever. And like in the gross business sense of things, Horizon, this series makes Microsoft a ton of money. It like the player numbers, like people are going to be very active still playing this game in 3-4 years from now. And so there's not necessarily going to be a rush to get Horizon 7 out.
Well, their post-launch support is usually pretty nuts as well, with the Lego and other types of like expansions and stuff like that. Like the game already has 500 plus cars, and I'd say probably about 60 or 70 hours worth of content, but that's like just for now.
Right.
It'll be different in a year.
So But I guess my point is, we probably are not going to see the next one until the Helix is out. I would be willing to bet a number of lunches on that. Which so it'll be cool.
I would not bet against that.
And then the last one here's I'm just going to go around the table here as a final point for this segment about Forza Horizon 6, which again everybody should be playing. Whether if you've resubbed to Game Pass Ultimate, just download it. If you haven't, buy the game. It's amazing. Where will the next one be set? That's why I want to go around the table and see what everybody thinks, because I've got a thought in mind for where I think it's going. So we went from Colorado in the very first game, which was obviously it hadn't blown up, it hadn't become this big deal yet. It was just a
spin-off at that point.
Yeah, exactly. It was just a spin-off. Now it's like Frasier, where it's bigger than Cheers ever was, right? Yeah. If Motorsport was Cheers,
very good,
huge show.
Very good analogy.
Yeah,
very
right?
good.
Every week I bring the 90s sitcom references now. That's my new bit. That's my new thing. So yeah, it's the Frasier to Motorsport's Cheers, but Horizon 2, which is where it started, the ascent really started. With 2, we went to the south of France. 3, as Mark noted, we were in Australia. 4 took us to the UK. 5 took us to Mexico. And now, here in 6, we have arrived in Japan. So, Miranda, I'll start with you. Where do you think 7 might go?
Maybe I want to see, or I guess more of what I would want to see. Maybe Greece.
Oh, I like
Greece would be cool. Lots of history, lots of cool stuff to explore there.
Good call.
Not necessarily car scene stuff, but, or that I know of, but, I think it'd still be a really interesting location.
I like that. Good shout there. Good shout. Michael, what do you think? Give me a potential location that you want to see for 7.
2 things. I don't know why the hell you have LA on here in the document. What a hell of a place to drive
in.
You're just sitting in traffic the whole time.
Oh my God, that's so funny. I mean, you get rid of the density and then you can go to all the different neighborhoods and all the space in between in LA. Maybe that works. But what I actually want, I'm going to go the Final Fantasy 14 route. And then what we do is we mash all the realms together. We bring all the different worlds. So you have Japan, UK, Australia, Mexico, all in one. And it's going to be this fusion story where everyone's transporting between different cities. And you combine all the different maps in weird ways and you get fantastical with it. That's what I want. That's
Forza Horizon world.
Death Stranding portals. Just
1000%. I think they've really done a good job with these open worlds that are based on real places. I mean, obviously they call it out and all that stuff, but they're their own made up open worlds. But I want them to get freaky with it. Get weirder with it. They played it safe, which is good, and that's what the series does. But for the next one, you got to do something really weird. And if you want to make the world even bigger, have all these more, make it more expansive, you could use the Helix's power, which assumedly would be able to fuse a lot bigger worlds like this. Just do it, man. Just bring all Forza Horizon forever. I don't know. That's what you can call it or something.
All right. Good stuff there. How about you, Mark?
My soft answer would be Brazil, just because Fast 5 is my favorite.
Actually,
my second favorite after Tokyo Drift. So my favorite outside of what we are now already have. But I think my true answer would be China, just because Chinese cars have pushed so far, especially with what they're doing with electric cars and BYD and all that stuff. And it's we're never going to be able to drive these cars. So I want to drive them in a video game, and I want to see the kind of stuff that they're coming up with. And there are electric cars in this game, and there was some in Forza Horizon 5 as well. And so I'd love this super kind of futuristic. The cars are kind of silent. Not every car, obviously, but I think China would be an awesome place to finally see some of these cars that we only ever as Americans get to see pictures of or videos of.
Yeah, you've reminded me of there's a supercar that in China that I've only seen videos of. It's under the BYD, which is one of the huge car brands there, called the Yangwang, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. The U9, it has the world record for top speed 308 miles per hour. I was just double checking that. So I
would be so scared.
Yeah, that would be a bit of a cheat code for the game, but Yeah, I think I like all of your answers better than mine, but I did have LA written down, and obviously, Michael, you wouldn't have the traffic. You'd get rid of that.
No, you got to do it. You got to do it
because you get to drive in Tokyo, and that's one of the densest
that's true.
spaces in the world.
That is true. But no, I think like the canyons outside of LA would be a blast. LA car culture. But I'll give you one other one because I do think it's time. I think we're due to have to bring Horizon back to the US for an entry. Kind of like the Olympics, right? It's got to come back around every so often. What about like the sort of back roads of like Tennessee and kind of the mountains in that region of the country? Ooh. Like that could be really fun. Like that sort of that region of the US, I think could be.
I think I'm more privy to your first answer just because we're all Californians, that it's like if they can figure out a way to shrink the state where you can kind of almost what Michael's saying, where it's like you're in San Diego, you're in LA, and then screw it, you're in the Bay Area.
Right. Like GTA San Andreas.
Exactly. Where it's like they just kind of like, kind of like Watch Dogs 2, where San Francisco's Bay Area was like 1/4 the scale, but if you live there, you kind of understood where you were.
Right.
So I think as Californians, we kind of like crave to drive around our own home state. I think that would be cool.
I wouldn't say no to a fictionalized California if that's what Playground wants to do next. That'd be fun, but we shall see. It's going to be a little while, but everybody, 10 out of 10 from IGN. Probably not going to surprise anybody. We're recording this at a time when we don't know what everybody else's review scores are, but I would be shocked if it's anything other than 9s and 10s for the most part. So
to leave with a closing statement, I want to echo something Ryan said. If you are not a car person, if you're not a driving game person, give it a shot. If you have Game Pass, I think you'll like it. I have played with friends that are like a driving game, and then we get into a convoy together, and they end up loving it. It is just a fun game to play. So give it a shot. Don't let your the niche driving genre, persuade you to not play a really, really great game.
I was gonna say that is exactly me, and Game Pass is like the perfect thing for it because it's like I don't really want to buy this game. I don't want to spend like dozens of hours in it, but I'll spend like 10 hours in it or 5 hours and just have a good time getting to explore it a bit. So totally agree.
Yeah, and Mark, exactly what you just described, that's how Horizon 5 won IGN's Game of the Year. Because before that, it was really it was Luke Riley, me, you, and Per Schneider. We're kind of we were the only people in the office that were really playing the Forza Horizon games. And then it just kind of, it got to that point when 5 came out, launching straight into Game Pass. There were good reviews for 4 and for 3, and people just started trying it just on the IGN team. And exactly what you said happened. Everybody fell in love with it, and it became, pretty convincingly, it won the vote for our Game of the Year. And I don't think anybody would regret their vote on that. Like, it's still like, that was absolutely the Game of the Year for us for 2021. So
flash forward to Forza Horizon 6, and like anybody that's ever been part of your like Forza friends list or whatever shows up as NPCs in the game, or it's like if you get a certain amount of signs or a time attack PB or whatever, it'll show you, and it's like me and Max Scoville are like neck and neck, and like Destin Legary. We're all just like competing for whoever can get the most stuff. It's great.
All right, good stuff. We're gonna let Mark go here, and then we'll pop back momentarily with some more Xbox news.
Bye, Mark.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Unlocked, IGN's weekly Xbox show. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to watch the full episode at youtube.com/IGN Games. New episodes of Unlocked drop every Thursday on IGN Games, IGN.com, and your favorite podcast platforms. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.